Mirage is Deadlock's newest hero, added in on September 26th patch. And here's probably the only guide you'll need for Mirage. Like the video if you like it, and well, subscribe if you're new, as we are pushing for 10,000 subscribers. But anyways, let's get started. First and foremost, Mirage can be built either to deal a ton of damage thanks to his spirit scaling and abilities, or you could even make him into a support character that plays off the supportive value from his kit, and honestly, the potential is endless. The amount of map pressure Mirage can have, especially thanks to his ultimate ability, could easily turn a losing fight into a highly winnable fight in just a matter of seconds. But well, what are his abilities? I would say one of the biggest things that is a factor to his abilities is his primary weapon. His primary weapon is a slow firing automatic carbine with a pretty manageable recoil and fairly high bullet velocity, and it does a ton of headshot damage in the early stages of the game. With no upgrades in your abilities and without any items, you're doing 27 damage per headshot on an enemy laner. And well, to be honest, that number is absurd. With already putting a ton of games into Mirage, I could confidently say that most of the time I'm literally getting a kill at level 1, as again, the weapon he has is ridiculous. But now let's talk about his first ability, Tornado. It's a self-cast ability that turns yourself into a tornado, moving in a perfectly straight line of where you cast. If you hit any enemies, that being minions or even players, it will immediately damage the enemies and lift them up into the air. And after coming out of the tornado, you gain bullet evasion. Now the tornado can also be used to escape enemy abilities. Enemy ultimates could also use it kind of like an iframe. If per se a bebop bomb is on you, you could time it right and get out of the bomb. On base level, it does 70 spirit damage that has a 0.7 spirit scaling. You're lifting enemies into the air for 1.2 seconds, and you have a 25% chance at bullet evasion when you come out of it. Putting one ability point into it grants you a 0.4 second lift duration. 2 ability points will be minus 14 second cooldown. Then on the 5th and final upgrade for it, you will get another plus 20% chance for bullet evasion, so making that bullet evasion chance to 45%, which is pretty crazy. And let me just tell you, pairing this ability with Echo Shard has to be one of the most fun things if you're playing Mirage, and if you're not playing Mirage and versing him, this turns it into the most frustrating thing in the world to play against. But that's enough about that. Onto the second ability. Mirage's second ability is called Fire Scarab. You start launching Fire Scarabs. Each Scarab can be launched separately. When successfully landed against an enemy or a minion, it steals max health from enemies, and it applies bullet resistance reduction. But one thing that I see a lot of people doing is spamming all of the Scarabs onto one singular person. And one of the big things you should know is that you cannot apply multiple Scarabs to the same enemy, so make sure you're not wasting the Scarabs, as this is how you really survive in lane. Something to also note is that the health gain is 3 times more effective versus players than that of non-players, so things like guardians, walkers, minions, jungle camps, you're better off not using the Scarabs on those. At base level, it steals 90 max health and has a 0.9 spirit scaling and gives a minus 10% bullet resistance reduction. You also have 4 Scarabs to shoot on base level. Something to keep in mind is that you have a 5-second window to shoot all the Scarabs out, and has a cooldown of 32 seconds. On the first ability point, it's minus 15 second cooldown. On 2 ability points, it's another minus 15% bullet resist, so turning that bullet resist number to minus 25%. Then on the 5th and final upgrade, you get plus 70 max health steal, making that total number 160 without any items, so definitely a super solid number. Again, this ability is great for surviving in lane and really just being a nuisance. Now his third ability is called Jin's Mark. It's both a passive and active ability. The passive part of the ability is that each time you shoot your primary weapon and hit a target, is that your shots apply an increasing multiplier, that being per target, so stacks don't carry the target to target. When the multiplier on the target expires or reaches its max value, the stacks are consumed. The target then suffers spirit damage and is revealed shortly on the map. That is 16 damage, and you have the max stack times that multiplier. The part of the ability, you can see that you can press your ability key, unlike Haze, whose fixation passive is a true passive, but when you press that activation key, it will consume the multiplier of the Jin's Marks and do the damage right away. So in a way, if you feel like you did enough damage to the enemy and you feel that you do enough damage, you could quickly press your active button and try to get the elimination on said target right away. Now something to note as well, base damage of Jin's Marks is that it scales on spirit power. Now on the first ability point, I have to say that this has to be one of the most ridiculous upgrades I've ever seen for ability in, quite frankly, a MOBA. It applies 80% slow for 0.5 seconds whenever you increase the multiplier. So it's literally just as you're shooting an enemy target, you're going to be constantly slowing them, which is literally the most annoying thing ever. It's literally like what Kelvin used to be AoE, but instead of taking moderate damage, you're now taking an insane amount of damage. But anyways, on the second ability point upgrade, you get plus 4 seconds for the multiplier, duration, and it gives you plus 10 base damage. On the fifth and final upgrade, you get a minus 0.5 second cooldown between multiplier stacks, and you get plus 4 max multiplier, so that number of 8 max stacks is now at 12. So now it will be your base damage. Let's say that base damage is 26, it then will be amplified by 12, which is crazy. Now Mirage's fourth and ultimate ability is titled Traveler. It's actually a pretty cool ultimate, but it being cool could also make it a little too strong in my eyes. It's a channeling ultimate. By targeting any ally or visible enemy on the minimap, you can then teleport to them wherever you started that channel. After teleporting, you gain movement speed as well as fire rate until you reload. Now this ultimate can be extremely powerful in the right hands. Say you have a teammate getting ganked, you could teleport to them to help them, you could teleport to an enemy, get the drop on them, and you could actually teleport the urn, which I don't think you should be able to do. To teleport the urn, you throw the urn on the ground, then right when you're about to run over the urn, quickly select a friendly that's next to the deposit altar, and by the time your teleport goes off, you will have picked up the urn, and well, it's a free deposit. And well, people might say that Ivy can carry a person across the map with someone holding the urn, but I think this might be a little too strong. But that's just me. It's a 2.5 second channel duration. On base level, you get plus 2 move speed, and you get plus 20% fire rate. Now it is a 130 second cooldown, so the first ability point upgrade is a minus 20 second cooldown. The second ability point is another plus 2 move speed, so making that total move speed plus 4. On the fifth and final upgrade, you get another plus 20% fire rate, making the total fire rate number 40%. Before we dive into the build, I just want to say this is a playtest, so of course they're testing the numbers of the character, so I completely understand why this character feels incredibly overpowered compared to the others, but again, it's a playtest with no MMR to really track or ranked mode, so you should really just be playing this game to have fun. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Now there's two builds I have cooked up for this character, one focusing on the gun damage and gunplay of him, and the other more being a hybrid that leans more into spirit power. But first, let's talk about the weapon damage build. The first one is Jin Controller by Duck Films. It's public, everybody can use it. I have the ability point order all marked out. This build heavily focuses on your Jin mark, but first things first is Restorative Shot. Restorative Shot recently got buffed, so it's just a great buy to have if you need survivability. Then we're going into Hollow Point Ward. Again, Spirit Power, Spirit Shield health, and you get when you are above 60% health, deal additional weapon damage. This gun, your primary gun, does a ton of damage. Then we're getting Headshot Booster. Like I said previously in the video, the headshot for this gun is insane. It's 27 at base for enemy planers. Once you get the headshot booster, it gets to about 30, 32, 37, somewhere around there. Then we're getting extra stamina for more survivability. Of course, lane survival is healing right, bullet lifesteal. Then we're getting Mystic Burst. Now again, this goes really well with your mark. Extra spirit, more spirit power, health regen, and bonus health. Sprint boots. Again, I always have sprint boots for pretty much every build that I have. Slowing bullets. I like to actually stack these slowing bullets with the Jin mark's first upgrade, so it's 80% slow. And then you get an additional movement slow, which is 25, which is making people not move. Then Kinetic Dash. It was recently nerfed, or in one of the patches before, but I just like Kinetic Dash. Withering Whip. Withering Whip is a great buy for reduced or bullet resist. Of course, bullet resist Shredder. So when you get the marks on enemies, it will automatically apply the bullet resist because it's considered spirit damage to the mark when you pop it. So it's just a great buy. Now at mid game, so about 10 minutes, Headhunter. You need Headhunter. Again, more headshot. Damn it. Let me just buy it for you. The headshot is just ridiculous. Like 45? Come on now. 45 damage to the head is crazy. Then we're going Toxic Bullets. Toxic Bullets is a universal good buy, especially if there's like an Infernus on the other team, or Abrams, anyone that has a ton of lifesteal. Burst Fire. Since this is a slow firing weapon, we're getting Burst Fire to shoot faster. We're getting Quicksilver because we want that instant reload, and we're actually gonna apply it on the mark so that you shoot mark, instantly get it back so you can keep going. You can get Superior Stamina. Again, more mobility, always a great buy. Spirit armor, bullet armor, enduring speed are all great survival items. Knockdown if you really need it. Then late game, you can get Ricochet, because Ricochet will also bounce off enemies and apply to stack to other enemies. Then we're going to Lucky Shot. Lucky Shot, your chance to empower, doing more slow. We want more slow, because I like making people upset. Then we're getting Curse, because Curse is just a universal goodbye. Soul Rebirth, might as well get it. Unstoppable, also a great buy. Siphon Bullets, more survivability. And then Crippling Headshot to get even more headshot damage. So again, come over here. 249 a headshot. 74. It's just getting all these headshot items for this character is just too good to pass up. You can get Vampiric if you really need the lifesteal and tech to win the game. Then you could get Spiritual Overflow, Siphon Bullets. I have it twice on accident. Pristine, Improved, and Metal Skin. This is the gun build that I have concocted, and I would say I have about an 80% win rate with it. You know, I don't know the total amount of games I've played on Mirage, but it's quite a lot. And this is a really good build if you have too many spirit users on your team. Now onto our second build that focuses on the Tornado ability and focuses on the Echo Shard, so casting your Tornado twice. So in the early game, of course, we're getting Headshot Booster. Again, it's too good to pass up on, especially for this character. We have Rapid Rounds, again, to increase that fire rate of this slow firing carbine. Extra Charge, when you buy Extra Charge, it's actually going to go into Fire Scarabs, so you can get more lifesteal, more lane survival. Extra Spirit, to do more spirit power with all of your abilities. Sprint Boots, again, Sprint Boots is like a must in all of my builds at least. Lane survival, pretty self-explanatory. Enduring Spirit, and Healing Right. Now at 1250 souls, you're going to want Soul Shredder. Your bullets apply a debuff that amplifies your spirit damage. So your spirit damage, again, your mark is spirit damage, so you're playing for that. Now Swift Striker, again, fire rate. We need fire rate. Kinetic Dash, I like using Kinetic Dash for more movement. Then at mid game, around 10 minutes, so Bullet Lifesteal. Bullet Lifesteal is always a great buy for any character that does a lot of damage with the gun, or is that you're constantly shooting. Then this is where the fun starts. You get improved cooldown. Then you get Duration Extender. That goes with the Tornado, so it lifts. So if I buy Duration Extender, you can see it's at 1.39. Then you get Mystic Vulnerability. So when a target takes spirit damage, they have their spirit resist reduced. Then Bullet Resist Shredder, of course, is a must buy, especially for a character like this. Enduring Speed, Headhunter, and in this one I'm actually using Point Blank because we're focusing on the Tornado ability. So if I knock someone up, I'm going to be trying to get up close to them when I knock them up. Then we're going into Crippling Headshot. Again, the headshot with this guy is just too good to pass up. Now this is literally where this character will become a menace to society. So what we have here is what I like to say, Knock Up Alley. So superior cooldown on ability 1. So making the Tornado knock up pretty constantly knock up. So we're putting superior cooldown on ability 1, which is Tornado, so we can knock up a lot. Then we're getting superior duration. Now you could either put superior duration on your Tornado or you could put it on your mark ability. So it depends. If you want to play more team focus oriented, you put it on a Tornado. If you want to play more for yourself, you put it on the mark. Rapid Recharge, this great have, more Scarabs, so more lifesteal. Improved Spirit, great buy. Echo Shard, this is probably the most annoying thing in the game right now. So Tornado, Echo Shard, Tornado. That's all you do. And people can't move for an eternity. Then of course Surge of Power, Boundless Spirit, Inhibitor, Leech, Ricochet. This is all optional if you wanted to. Ricochet if you want more stacks on enemies. And of course, Surge of Power would go on to your mark. So you pop it and just keep shooting. But yeah, that's my other build, focusing more on the spirit side, which is called Master Sand. Of course, it's also, yep, it's public right now, as well as Gen controller. So if you want to go ahead and favorite both of these and test them out for yourself, I greatly appreciate that. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, or just liked the content in general, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.